My future career goal is to be an art therapist that works with the armed forces and veterans with issues they may have. Each image shown in this presentation is a piece of art that a veteran has made to help them cope with what has happened to them. The four concepts I focused on were attachment style, parenting style, identity development, and male socialization. My first concept was attachment style, which is, of course, how a child interacts with their parent. As the child grows up, this attachment style generalizes out from just parents to the other relationships a person develops from adolescence and on. More and more women are joining the armed forces, but it is still a heavily male-dominated society. For women, their relationships with people are very important. They define them. This is an idea called self-in-relation theory, where women's identities are closely tied with their relationships. The amount and type of relationship can be linked back to their type of attachment style. And so, entering into the armed forces, women could have a hard time and develop depression from a lack of emotional and supportive relationships. Art therapy can help them reactivate their positive emotions. Also, develop a new sense of identity that can create a balance between relationships and the armed forces. The next concept I focused on was parenting style. Like attachment style, parenting style has a big influence on people. People learn how to act and react due to how their parents raise them. A negligent parent may create a child that ends up becoming very independent, whereas an indulgent parent can have a child that is completely dependent. The armed forces itself is like an authoritative father. What they say goes, and there isn't a lot of room for change. And so the things that come with an authoritative parent, feelings of inadequacy, negative self-perceptions, etc., can hurt a person. This can be especially true for people who are raised with any other type of parenting style. They have become accustomed to parents reacting a certain way, and the father armed forces changes their whole perspective. Art therapy can help reconsolidate the idea of before and after the armed forces with regards to how things were run. The third concept I focused on was identity development. Identity becomes pretty solidified near the end of adolescence. However, this isn't true with everyone. Some people can't make a decision or have had the decision made for them on who they are. People that are 18 and just joined the armed forces may have a hard time with their identity. They may not have a complete identity, whereas the armed forces has had a very strong one for a long time. They may just foreclose on their identity to the armed forces and not fully explore who they are. Art therapy can help people find and define their identity. Any issues of identity confusion can be externalized so they can look at their issues from a distance. The final concept I talked about was male socialization. In society, men are taught to not show emotions and in turn have a harder time describing the emotions they feel. The armed forces reinforce this idea. Men don't know how to express their emotions before they enter the armed forces, and then they experience things, sometimes horrific things, and they can't find a way to put it into words. Art therapy is all about trying to work out issues without having to talk as much. It provides a way to try to work through things that people have seen without having to hash out every detail. Men, and of course women, can externalize their feelings and issues, allowing them to process what has happened to them. Art therapy can also help with emotional self-efficacy, which will allow people to better explain their emotions when the need arises. How we became who we are is shaped early on by things like our parents and how we respond to them, searching for our identity and socialization. People in the armed forces have unique experiences when compared to the layman. Sometimes they can't cope. Sometimes they need help to reassess the world. Art therapy can help with that.